aliens may be among us. This is the first English female in space, Helen Sharman, and she claims that aliens do exist. Well, she's not the only astronaut claiming this. We know that Buzz Aldrin claimed that they could be around us and in space, and they're very intelligent and advanced. He says, just take a look at the monolith on the Mars moon of Enceladus. And he's right. That is definitely a pillar of some kind. Now, Sputnik News report Helen Patricia Sharman, who was the first British cosmonaut and the first woman to visit the Mir space station in May of 1991. That's the Russian one, as we know. She recently gave an interview to the Observer magazine and opening up her ideas and experience in space. She was the first Briton to have launched into space and believes that aliens do exist and may even already be on our Earth, but we cannot see them. She was speaking for an interview with the Observer magazine. Dr. Helen Sharman said, aliens exist. There's no two ways about it. There are so many billions of stars out there in the universe that there must be all sorts of different forms of life. Will they be like you and me, made up of carbon and nitrogen? Maybe not. It's possible. They're here right now, and we simply cannot see them. Well, we know that they are interdimensional beings, one of them being angels. Now, the female cosmonaut, 56 years old, said she never defines herself by her gender. Sharman says, people often describe me as the first British woman in space, but I was actually the first British person. It's telling that we would otherwise assume that it was a man. When Tim Peake went into space, some people simply forgot about me, she said. A man going first would be the norm, so I'm thrilled that I got to upset that order, says Sharman. The cosmonaut spoke of her breathtaking beauty, the beauty of Earth from up high. She said, I'll never forget the first time I saw it. After takeoff, we left the atmosphere and suddenly light streamed in through the window. We were over the Pacific Ocean. The glorious deep blue skies took my breath away. Sharman also shared how enlightening it was for her to comprehend how it's people, not material goods, which truly matter. And that's once she found herself in space that she realized this. She says, I gave no thought to the physical items I owned on Earth. When we flew over specific parts of the globe, it was always our loved ones we thought of down below us. Helen Sharman is a chemist, and she was selected for the Juno Space Project after responding to a 1989 UK radio advertisement looking for applicants competing against 13,000 other candidates for the choice to be the first British citizen in space. So it was a woman, Sharman, and not a man. Project Juno was part of a government-level agreement. It was concluded between the USSR and Great Britain, and after a year and a half of rigorous training at Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Center in Star City, in 1991, at the age she was 27 years old, she became a household name, spending almost 8 days in space aboard the Soyuz TM-12 and the Mir space station. She performed scientific experiments before returning back to Earth. She has not returned to space since then, and was turned down for space projects with the European Space Agency in 1992 and 1998. After she returned to Earth, Sharman wrote her book. She visited schools and undertook speaking tours about science and space exploration. Sharman subsequently retreated from public life for a little while, and then she joined the National Physics Laboratory in 2011, moving into Imperial College London to become Operations Manager at the Department of Chemistry in 2015. And that's where she continues outreach activities related to chemistry and her space flight. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.